Hi friends, today I want to talk about something that so many people dream about, but often struggle with: how to speak English. Not just learning English, not just memorizing grammar rules, but truly speaking English, confidently, naturally, and without feeling like you're trapped inside your own head. I know exactly how it feels. You want to express yourself, you want to sound fluent, but the words get stuck. Maybe you've studied English for years. You know the rules. You can read books. You can even write a little, but when it comes time to open your mouth, it's like your brain goes blank. You feel nervous. You translate every word from your language into English in your head, and by the time you think of what to say, the moment has passed. Does that sound familiar? Don't worry. You are not alone. Millions of people feel the same way. And the truth is, speaking English is not just about learning more grammar or memorizing long vocabulary lists. Speaking is a skill, like driving a car or playing the guitar. You don't learn to play guitar by reading a book about music theory. You learn by picking up the guitar and practicing. Speaking English works exactly the same way. So today I'm going to share everything you need to know about speaking English. We'll go deep: mindset, daily habits, practice methods, how to overcome fear, how to think in English, and how to make English a natural part of your life. I want you to imagine this like we're sitting together in a quiet cafe. Or maybe you're listening while walking in the park. This isn't a lecture. It's like a friendly conversation. Step 1. Understand why speaking feels so hard. Let's start with the big question. Why is speaking English so hard for so many people? It's not because you're bad at languages. It's not because you don't have talent. It's usually because of one thing: fear. Fear of making mistakes. Fear of sounding stupid. Fear of people judging you. And when you're afraid, your brain freezes. You start thinking about every little word, every little grammar point, and suddenly speaking feels like solving a math problem in your head. But here's the truth. Mistakes are your best friend. Think about how kids learn to speak. They don't sit in school learning grammar before they open their mouths. They make mistakes, thousands of them, and every mistake teaches them something. If you wait until you speak perfectly, you'll never start speaking. So the first thing you need to do is this: give yourself permission to speak badly. Yes, you heard me right. Speak badly. Speak broken sentences. Mix up words. It doesn't matter. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to communicate. Because here's a secret. Even native English speakers don't speak perfectly. They make grammar mistakes. They forget words. They pause. They correct themselves. And that's okay. Step 2. Stop translating in your head. Another reason speaking feels hard: you're probably translating every word from your language into English. You think in your language, translate in your head, speak English. That's slow, that's stressful, and that's why you hesitate. The key to fluency is to think in English. Now you might be thinking, but how can I think in English if my English isn't strong yet? Here's the trick. Start small. When you see a cup, don't think taza or kop or aweq. Whatever your language is, think cup. When you feel hungry, think I'm hungry, instead of first saying it in your language. The more you train your brain to connect ideas, English words directly, the less you will translate. Here's a simple exercise. Pick 5 objects in your room. Look at each one and say the English word out loud. Do this every day, and slowly, your brain will stop relying on translation. Another great habit: narrate your day in English. While you're cooking, think I'm cutting the vegetables. When you're leaving the house, think I'm locking the door. At first it feels strange, but over time your brain will start using English automatically. Step 3. Learn to listen. Really listen. A lot of people think speaking comes only from speaking, but here's the truth. Speaking starts with listening. If you want to sound natural, You need to hear how real English sounds, not just read it in textbooks. Think about how babies learn. They listen for a long time before they say their first word. So, fill your ears with English. Listen to podcasts. Watch English YouTube channels. Listen to songs. But don't just listen passively. Listen actively. Here's how checkmark. Pick a short video or podcast. Listen once without stopping, just to understand the idea. Listen again, and try to catch phrases and expressions. Pause and repeat what you hear. Copy the pronunciation, the rhythm, even the emotion. This is called shadowing, and it's powerful. When you shadow, you're not just practicing speaking, you're training your mouth, your ears, and your brain to work together. Step 4. Build your speaking vocabulary. Here's something most learners don't realize. There are two kinds of vocabulary. Passive vocabulary, words you understand when you hear or read them. 2. Active vocabulary, words you can use when you speak. Most learners have a huge passive vocabulary, but a tiny active vocabulary. That's why you can understand movies, but struggle to say a simple sentence. Solution? You need to activate your vocabulary. Here's how. Pick 5 to 10 new words or phrases you want to use. Write simple sentences with them. Speak those sentences out loud several times. Try to use those words in your daily life. For example, if you learn the phrase, "I'm running late," don't just memorize it. Say, "I'm running late for school." "I'm running late for work." "Sorry, I'm running late." When you speak those sentences out loud, you move that word from your brain's storage room into your toolbox for speaking. Step 5. Practice, but the right way. This is the big one. Everyone says practice speaking, but what does that mean? Many learners say, "I don't have anyone to practice with." Guess what? That's not an excuse anymore. Here are 5 powerful ways to practice speaking, even if you're alone. 1. Talk to yourself. Yes, it sounds weird, but it works. Stand in front of a mirror and talk. Say what you're doing, what you're thinking, what you're planning. 2. Record yourself. Take your phone, record your voice for 1 or 2 minutes. Talk about your day, your favorite food, anything. Then listen. When you listen, you'll notice pronunciation mistakes, grammar slips, and you'll slowly improve. 3. Shadowing practice. Like I said earlier, copy native speakers. Pick a short video. Repeat everything like an echo. 4. Online language partners. Use apps or websites to find language partners. Even if it's just 10 minutes a day, talking to a real person makes a huge difference. 5 speaking challenges. Set a challenge for yourself. I will say 5 sentences in English before breakfast. Or, I will record a 1-minute audio every day for 30 days. Small daily practice beats one big study session every week. Step 6. Fix pronunciation. But don't obsess. A lot of learners worry. I don't sound like a native speaker. Here's some good news. You don't need to sound like a native speaker. There are millions of fluent English speakers with different accents: Indian, Spanish, French, African, Chinese, and they are all understood. The goal is not to erase your accent. The goal is to speak clearly. Here's how to improve pronunciation without stress. Listen and copy. Choose a voice you like and copy the way they speak. Focus on problem sounds. Every language has sounds that are hard. Find your weak sounds and practice them. Use tongue twisters. They're fun and improve clarity. Example: she sells seashells by the seashore. But remember, clarity is more important than perfection. Step 7. Change how you think about English. This might be the most important step of all. Many learners see English as a subject, like math or science, something you study for an exam. But if you want to speak English, you need to see it as a skill, like cooking or swimming. You don't study swimming, you jump into the water. So stop thinking, I'm learning English. Start thinking, I'm living in English. Surround yourself with the language. Change your phone settings to English. Watch movies without subtitles. Write your shopping list in English. Make English part of your daily life, not just your study time. Step 8. Overcome fear, the silent killer of fluency. We talked about fear earlier, but let's go deeper. Many people know English. They can speak, but they stay silent because they're scared. Scared of being laughed at. Scared of making a mistake. Scared of people thinking they're not smart. Here's a truth that changed my life. Nobody cares as much as you think. When you speak English, most people are not judging you. They are impressed that you're speaking another language. Even if you make mistakes, they understand. And here's another secret. Mistakes actually make you better. Every time you say something wrong, you learn. Every time someone corrects you, you improve. So, speak. Speak even when you're afraid. Speak especially when you're afraid. Step 9. Build habits, tiny steps. Every day. Fluency doesn't happen in 1 month. It's not about studying hard for 2 weeks and then stopping. Fluency comes from tiny daily habits. Here's a simple daily routine you can try. 5 minutes. Listen to English, podcast, news, YouTube. 5 minutes. Speak or record yourself. 5 minutes. Read a short article out loud. 5 minutes. Write 3 to 4 sentences about your day. That's just 20 minutes a day. But if you do it every single day, you will transform your English. Final thoughts. Speaking English is a journey. My friends, here's what I want you to remember. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need a native accent. You don't need to know every word in the dictionary. You just need to start. Start speaking today, even if it's broken, even if it's awkward, even if you only know 50 words. Because the magic of speaking English is this. The more you speak, the easier it gets. One day you'll surprise yourself. You'll have a conversation and realize, wow, I didn't translate. I didn't hesitate. I just spoke. That day will come, but only if you start today. So go ahead. Talk to yourself, record your voice, shadow a video, call a language partner, or just say hello to someone. English is not just something you learn. English is something you live.